Hi dear cricket fans, subscribers and friends of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram welcoming you to another edition of Cricket Happenings today. And we are looking at the Ashes Test Series, which is in its final stages here as the Ashes series is ending today. And Australia are with their backs to the wall, needing a Herculean task considering only 3 wickets and with the tailenders there for company. They are having to make 151 runs to actually save, not save this match, basically to make England bat again, which according to me is not going to happen, and it's a foregone conclusion that England are going to take it 3-1 in the series. And also one news here, Paul Collingwood of England has announced his retirement from Test cricket. Well, the other news that I have here is between India, as they were set at 339 for a historic series win. Finally, they actually went for a draw, and this is the first time that India has actually drawn a series in South Africa. So that is also something, even though they didn't win the series, even a draw, because every time they have played in South Africa they have lost the series. So this is the first time that they have drawn the series, and that is something, a proud achievement for India. Now the other thing that I would like to say is today we do have New Zealand versus Pakistan. The first test match kicks off in Hamilton, and that is another thing that I need to cover. But well, that is going to be a preview of that particular match. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk in a very brief manner about all these events. So first we are starting off with the Ashes series. As far as the Ashes series is concerned, yesterday England went on to make a record score down under. They have never made such a big score, and that was 644 all out England, thanks to Matt Pryor getting to his first century against Australia. I mean, he has 4 centuries, but this was the first against Australia, and this will do a world of good for Matt Pryor, because Matt Pryor has been in and out of the English side, and this has really, and you know, one can see the way he plays the strokes on the offside. It's a real pleasure to watch. He just pierces the gap between the field and gets it to the boundary, and that's what we saw today in his knock of 118 of 130 balls, 11 fours and 1 sixes in that. And well, he got good support from Tim Bresnan, who initially looked a bit shaky but slowly gathered confidence, and then he hit some powerful strokes to make 35 of 103 balls with 5 fours, becoming a victim of Johnson. So he was the first wicket to go, and 589 for 8 was the score. Bell was also a victim of Johnson. That was in the previous day, as you know. And then he also got support from Graham Swan. Graham Swan was also giving him good support, but finally Matt Pryor, after making 118 of 130 balls, 11 fours and 1 6, fell to Ben Hilfenhaus, caught behind by Haddon. And then Graham Swan contributed. He was not out on 36 of 26 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. It was very, very severe on Mitchell Johnson. Chris Tremlett made 12 runs before being a victim of Hilfenhaus, being caught behind for 12, and that was his 644 all out, and that was a lead of 364 runs for England. And also Paul Collingwood has announced his retirement from Test cricket, and he had a dismal Ashes tour, I would say. But well, he has bid goodbye to Test cricket, but he will still continue to play the 2020 version and the one-day version of the game. As far as the bowling figures are concerned, Hilfenhaus 38.5 overs 7 maidens, 3 for 121. Mitchell Johnson 36 overs 5 maidens, 4 for 168. Peter Siddle 31 overs 5 maidens, 1 for 111. Shane Watson 20 overs 7 maidens, 1 for 49. Michael Beale 38 overs 3 maidens, 1 for 112 on his debut. Stephen Smith 13 overs for 67. Michael Hussey 1 over no maiden, none for 2. As far as Australia were concerned, Australia started off with Shane Watson and Phil Hughes. Shane Watson was looking positive right from the word go, and Phil Hughes was really struggling. And finally, in fact, this was something which Shane Watson has been quite a victim every time, and both of batsmen were actually standard at the other end. And Shane Watson, after playing a very quick innings of 38 runs of 40 balls with 7 fours, was run out as both the batsmen were at the same end. In fact, they went for the second run, which was very suicidal, and Shane Watson paid the penalty. He was run out by a Pryor-Peterson combination for 38 of 40 balls with 7 fours. That was the first wicket to go for Australia, and then Phil Hughes followed him to the pavilion at the score with the score on 52. When Phil Hughes who had a good opportunity here after coming in place of Simon Katich, who was injured, but actually wasted that opportunity by actually muffing all the chances, opportunities that he got. And he was also had a dismal Ashes series here, as he was gone when Bresnan actually started bowling very well and also bowling very tightly, had Phil Hughes edging to Pryor, trying to go for a forward defensive stroke, and Phil Hughes was caught behind the bowling of Bresnan for 13 with 1-4. Usman Khwaja contributed 21 of 73 balls with 2 fours, looked good, but Anderson with his late swing actually had Usman Khwaja caught behind for 21. And then Michael Clarke, who came out with lots of confidence, and he was stroking the ball very well. He was using his feet to the spinners. He had decided that he's going to go down to Graham Swan. He whipped Swan for boundaries too, and he was looking quite good. But before Anderson, as I said, he was reverse swinging the ball in a magnificent way, and this time he had Michael Clarke caught behind by Pryor of the bowling of Anderson, 41 of 73 balls to 6 fours. He was the highest scorer. After that, things were going on. Michael Hussey and Brad Haddin were at the crease. Brad Haddin was slowly stroking the ball and trying to be there, but Michael Hussey was a victim of Bresnan, as Michael Hussey gave a catch to Gully. Peterson took the catch, and Michael Hussey was gone for 12 of 49 balls with 1-4, and Australia were in trouble, 161 for 5. And after that, it was Mitchell Johnson who joined Haddin, but it was the strike from Chris Tremlett who actually came in, and he bounced out Brad Haddin by getting him caught behind for 30 of 41 balls with 3 fours. And the very next delivery, Mitchell Johnson was clean bowled by Tremlett for a duck, and the Australia scored at close of play on the 4th day of the final Ashes Test, 213 for 7. Stephen Smith was not out on 24 of 40 balls with 4 fours, and Peter Siddle had contributed not out 17 of 28 balls with 3 fours. And on the morrow, they require 151 runs to avoid defeat. I don't think it is quite possible, with only Stephen Smith and Peter Siddle and only Michael Beer, the debutant, and Hilfenau still to come. It looks a Herculean task. 151 runs if Australia could make, that would be something that Australia would cherish forever. But I don't think it is going to be. It is almost a foregone conclusion that England are going to be the winners, 3-1 in this Ashes series. As far as the bowling figures were concerned, James Harrison, 13 overs, 4 maidens, 50 runs and 2 wickets, bowled magnificently. There was a tremendous seam movement and also tremendous reverse swing bowling. Chris Tremlett, as usual, was very, very effective. 15 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 53. Graham Swan, 25 overs, 7 maidens, 1 for 63. And Tim Bresnan, 14 overs, 6 maidens, 2 for 32. 151 runs more to get on the final day for Australia to make England bat again, which is not going to be possible with the 5th and final day of the Ashes series. And I think it's all over. England are going to take it 3-1 in the Ashes series. Well, the next match we are talking about which is happening in Durban. As you know, India were set an historic 339 to win this series, which they have never won a series in South Africa, but at least they will go out with a draw, because as you know, Sehwag had if you see Sehwag's record in 6 innings, he couldn't muster a lot of runs. He has not even reached 100 runs in this particular 3-test series, and Virendra Sehwag was kept really quiet by Dale Steyn and Mon Morkel early in the morning, and then Sehwag was a victim of Morkel, as he was caught by Spith of the bowling of Morkel for 11 of 40 balls with 2 fours, and then Gautam Gambhir and Dravid combined, and they took the score on to 106. The ball was turning, but it was slow, and there was also a bit of assistance for the seamers, for the pace bowlers too, with Lonwabo, Sotsobe, Morkel and Steyn bowling very well. Gautam Gambhir was leaving the ball very well outside his stumps, and he was playing in a very calm and restrained manner. Rahul Dravid, as you know, is a rock. He was giving him admirable company, and both of them took on the score to 106 when Dravid fell, when he was caught by Prince of the bowling of Sotsobe for 31 of 112 balls. And that is the time India decided, when Sehwag went there, decided that they are going to go for a draw, and that's what precisely they did. And finally, they also lost Gautam Gambhir, who was caught behind of the bowling of Steyn. He actually gloved a ball down the leg side of the bowling of Steyn for 64 of 184 balls, 9 fours. And Gautam Gambhir's knock was very invaluable because he played under difficult circumstances but played beautifully. And so he was gone. And then finally, Sachin Tendulkar had to graft 14 runs not out of 91 balls to help India draw this test match, with Lakshman giving him company, not out on 32 of 67 balls with 4 fours, but Lakshman playing in his usual self, creaming a few boundaries with effortless ease, and it was very good to see. And finally, India drew this test match. Not only do this test match, but also the first time drew a series in South Africa. This is the first time that they have not lost a series in South Africa. So that is something, a proud achievement for India. 166 for 3. India finished with at close of play when both the captains decided to call off play after 82 overs were bowled. Dale Steyn 18 overs 6 minutes 143. Mount Markle 15 overs 6 minutes 1 for 26. Sotsove 13 overs 4 minutes 1 for 29. 30 overs 19 minutes 29 runs on no wicket. Paul Harris I thought bowled very well. Graham Smith 4 overs 27 and Elroy Peterson 2 overs no done for 5. As far as the other thing that I need to cover here today is the start of the New Zealand-Pakistan Test series, which is going to start. As you know, New Zealand beat Pakistan in the 2020 series, and now it is going to be the beginning of the first Test match between Pakistan and New Zealand, which is at Hamilton. And I'm told there is some forecast for rain. We only hope that the play starts there. As far as Pakistan is concerned, they have Mohammad Hafiz and Tawfiq Umar opening the innings. Now, Mohammad Hafiz has been in good form that he showed in the 2020. He's a good player too. Tawfiq Umar has also played a lot of test matches. He was good in the United Arab Emirates too against South Africa. So he'll be looking. Azhar Ali, one of the finds for Pakistan and one of the mainstays, I would say, because the way he plays, he has a compact defense and he showed it against Australia, and he is one of those finds for Pakistan. And then Yunus Khan, the experienced hand of Yunus Khan. Misbah ul Haq will be the captain of the team. Asad Shafiq is another promising youngster in the Pakistan team. Adnan Akmal, the wicketkeeper. Abdur Rahman, the left arm spinner who does very well in test matches. Umar Gul, and then it is in the hands of Umar Gul, and who will be handling the new ball with either Wahab Riaz or Sohail Tanvir. Sohail Tanvir makes it back to the Pakistan team as an all-rounder. Wahab Riaz is also slowly partnering himself as an all-rounder. So that is as far as the Pakistan team is concerned. For New Zealand, it will be Tim McIntosh, who is another very good test batsman, partnering Brendan McCullum at the top of the order. Brendan McCullum, it will be very good to see how he goes after that injury. Martin Guptill is also a very good test batsman. He has a lot of strokes at his disposal. Ross Taylor is one of the threats for Pakistan, because the only matter is that Ross Taylor has to get into some good form here. Jesse Ryder is there, number 5. You know, he played very well against India in India. Kane Williamson is another find for New Zealand, who has come up in a long way. He also had a century against India when back home in India. And then Daniel Vettori, the astute captain, leads the side. Rhys Seng, the wicketkeeper, would be making his debut today. He's the wicketkeeper batsman of New Zealand. And then we have Tim Southee, Brent Arnell, and Chris Martin to man the pace attack. So that's it, dear cricket fans, subscribers and fans for Cricket Happenings. This is Ram signing off. Thank you.